What a stressful video this is going to be. Okay, first I want to just say I am in no way trying to tell you not to buy from Lululemon. I still buy from them to this day. I've bought stuff since I've quit. I think they have great products, and yeah, and I generally did love the brand at one point, but there's reasons why I no longer work there. And as you can tell, I have previous videos about the company from when I worked there. I used to promote an affiliate link on my Instagram all the time, and I just stopped, and I felt like it was kind of like random. So I wanted to kind of let you guys know like why I quit, because it is like a very important reason, but at the same time, like talking about it just like stressed me out. But it's been 6 months and I feel like I can probably talk about it now. Like I'm good now. It just used to give me a lot of like stress talking about it. I wanted to kind of go over why I quit, my experience working there, kind of how working there works in general, and just things like that. Okay, so first of all, the application process. So you typically would apply online in the summer, typically like July, August. So if you want to work there, go apply today, like go apply right now. They will usually bring you on as a seasonal employee. So typically they bring you on in September, October-ish, and then you would stay there until the end of January unless they extend your contract and decide to keep you on as a full-time like educator, not necessarily full-time, but like, you know what I mean, like they wouldn't just like let you go after your seasonal contract ends. I worked at 2 different locations, one in California and then one here in North Carolina while I was going to school at High Point. The application process is very long. It's very hard to even get an interview, I feel like. I had 3 interviews for my first location. There was a group interview. They asked you some really fun questions, and then the second interview was actually a group workout. We went to a UFC gym and just did like a little endurance strength thing, and that was actually a very good time. I enjoyed that. Then if they wanted to move forward after the group workout, they would just contact you, and then you'd meet one-on-one with a manager and have your last final interview before onboarding if they want to hire you on as seasonal. In North Carolina, same thing, multiple interviews. I didn't do a group workout for the North Carolina location, but it was pretty extensive. Like I had a group interview and then I had, I think, just a one-on-one after that. And then once you're hired on, there's some pretty extensive training. Training typically takes like a week or so. There's like 4 or 5 trainings. There's like a full week of training like every single day. And keep in mind, if you are a seasonal employee, these are mandatory. You have to work Black Friday, you have to work over Christmas break. So there's blackout days in December where you cannot request off and you have to be there, and then you have to work, I think it's New Year's Eve. So yeah, that is pretty it's a pretty firm contract. Like you can't get out of those days. So if you are trying to work at Lululemon while you're in college in a different state than your hometown, I don't recommend it, because you will not be able to go home to your family for the holidays. And that actually did happen to me. So I spent Christmas and my birthday and New Year's Eve alone, so don't recommend it. I will get into some tea later on in the video. I'm just trying to cover the basics. So if you want to hear like why things happen, stay till the end and I promise you I'll get there. So like I said, there was very extensive training. You have to learn like all the fabrics of the pants, how to talk to the guests, and you have to kind of learn like their language and stuff like that. I just said guests, so customers are not called customers, even though they are, they're called guests. The sale rack is not called the sale rack, they're called markdowns. And if someone brings in something that like is ripped, you can't say like, oh, a damaged item. You can't say I'm gonna damage it out. Like there's just very like weird things that you have to like not say. And then like if you didn't say those things, someone would like pull you aside and correct you. And it like it's fine, like I get it, that's the brand and that's how they want to portray themselves, but like it is just very like specific. Once you get hired on and you're done with your training and you learn all the fabrics of many fabrics, you do like fit sessions where you try on men's and women's clothes, no matter what your gender is, like you try on all the clothes, and you kind of educate each other, like your other co-workers that are being brought on. And like I just said, we're called educators, so like you're educating on the product, like you're not trying to like sell things, like you're not called like a salesperson, you're called an educator, because like your job, like if a guest comes in and asks about a pair of pants, you educate them on that like item. Then once you're like officially like in the store and everything, I would say like it's a really good environment. Like a lot of my close friends came from working at the company at both locations, and I had a really good time overall. But then just some things kind of got a little wild near the end, and I decided I just kind of had to leave. Like I just couldn't do it anymore. And I want to talk about the discounts as well, because that is a big question. People always ask me like, oh, like, what's your discount? I'm like, you aren't supposed to say. But what I can tell you, I don't work there anymore, it doesn't really matter. The discount, if you're full-time, it's a discount that would probably make you want to buy everything. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was part-time because I was in school and everything, but even with a part-time discount, like stuff was still the same price as like Alphalete with the discount. So like it wasn't the kind of discount where I just like had an uncontrollable urge to buy everything. Like I definitely didn't buy a bunch. I definitely had more than I needed, but at the same time it's like it was work clothes, and there is like I feel like some pressure to buy a lot of the new product that comes out, because they want you to kind of just like show what it looks like on to the guests that come in, things like that. But like at the same time, it's like if you're part-time and your discount isn't that great to where things are still like kind of expensive, like you feel pressure to honestly almost spend your entire paycheck back to the company. Like, okay, I don't want to make this video like way too long, because I can definitely talk about the company forever, but I do want to kind of get into like the tea as to like what kind of went wrong, and as kind of like why I left. So my first location, like some drama did go down, but it wasn't like as bad as the second location. And then I transferred to a school in North Carolina, and I applied for the location here, and I got the job, and I was very happy about it. And like I said, like in order to like get hired on, like you start seasonal and you have to stay like certain days. So like I literally spent Christmas, my birthday, New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving alone just so I could get that job and potentially even stay on after seasonal. Like me staying on wasn't even guaranteed, but I literally gave up my birthday and like the holidays with my family back in California just so I could have that job. And if that doesn't like show how much love and like respect I had for the company, like I don't know what does. And the fact that like things happened to me later down the road with the company in that same location just kind of like hurts me. Like I definitely lost a lot of trust in the company. And yeah, and if you follow me on Instagram or have known me for a bit, you would know that I'm dating someone who doesn't live in the same state as me, so going to see each other required traveling. And it's not like we were going to tropical extravagant places. Like I wouldn't even take a plane. I would drive to go see him at his apartment, and like both of our schools were online, so there was no risk of us spreading anything or even like really contracting anything. All of our classes were online for each of us, so it wasn't like we were exposed to a bunch of people. Like we really only saw who we had lived with, and like I said, I would just drive to go see him or vice versa, and we would stay at each other's houses. Like we weren't going out, we weren't going to parties, whatnot. So like there really was no reason for there to be an issue, but like there had been like multiple complaints that like people were worried about me going places, and then like they got really weird when I came into work and didn't want to see me and whatever. And like it's actually funny because like I had in-person classes like mandatory at the beginning of the semester, and like I got sick from my own school, and then from there like I had opted to go online. So people were worried about me seeing my boyfriend when I had literally gotten the virus just from going to classes. And like that like just goes to show like people would freak out at me for no reason, not knowing really my situation or not really even knowing like the full story. This is like this is the tea right here. Like, this is truly why I quit. There was a individual who was brought on into my store very soon before I had decided to leave, and this person had made very inappropriate comments to me multiple times, and it got to the point that I just didn't want to go to work, and it made me very anxious, and there was no way for me to switch shifts because, like I had mentioned earlier in the video, I could only work with certain people due to the situation and not being able to move things around much because there would be a high risk of spreading things. Makes sense, obviously. And eventually I had to tell my manager that, look, I don't like coming to work anymore because this person keeps making comments to me. This person knew I had a boyfriend. This person knew I wasn't reciprocating any of the energy they were putting my way, and I just kind of I was over it, and I told my manager I'm being harassed, and she pretty much told me don't come to work. She was gonna find me either switch groups that I worked with or find me different shifts, and that was great and all, and I liked that she had came up with that solution. In the moment I was like, okay, cool, but at the same time I thought about it. Why does this person doing this stuff to me get to stay at work, be the one to get the paycheck, have no repercussions, and pretty much I have to deal with it myself? Pretty much is what I felt like. Kind of felt like she wasn't really on my side. In the moment it had worked out in my favor, but not really. Yeah, I got to go see my boyfriend because I had a few days off work, but at the same time I wasn't gonna get paid. This person who was doing things wrong to me got to be at work and zero repercussions, like I had said. My trust in the company was completely broken. I no longer felt like I was wanted there anymore, as an employee, because if I wasn't being respected, why was I gonna be there? I'm the kind of person that if I'm being disrespected or if I feel unwanted, I'm just gonna leave. And one day I just put in my 2 weeks, and she freaked out. She's like, why? And I'm like, what do you mean why? By no means am I saying the company's a bad company. I just think my personal situation with this one individual was not handled appropriately. I still love the company's product. I still go into that same location and visit my own coworkers. They're truly some of my friends, and I'll bring them stuff sometimes just to say what's up. I'll go shop in there a little bit, and everything's good, but at that time it really just wasn't the right fit for me anymore, and I didn't feel like the company had the means to support me, if that makes sense. And I decided I don't need to be here, and I have better opportunities, and I'm actually so grateful that these things happen. Everything happens for a reason, and if I didn't feel the urge to quit due to those things, I never would have pursued coaching when I did and taken it as seriously as I do. It really gave me kind of that extra push, okay, if you're not gonna work at this company anymore, do something for yourself and invest in yourself. Do what you're truly meant to do, and I believe to me that is helping people and making people's lives better, and that's why I coach, and that's kind of why I got into coaching. That kind of is why I quit. And yeah, if you're one of my old coworkers and you're watching this, I love you. I miss you. I truly do miss being there and just getting up in the morning and getting my Starbucks and putting on my lines and going into the store and seeing all my friends. But things don't always stay the same, and that is fine. I've accepted it, and yeah, it was a good time. I definitely have thought about going back because they wanted me to stay, but I honestly was just I can't. So all right, thank you so much for watching. I didn't really need to stir any drama, but yeah, that is just my own personal experience, and I wanted to share it with you guys. All right, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. You are my love.